Nothing. Hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're swell. Hope you're wavy. Hope you're great. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing a subs do ASMR video, guys. I'm doing a subs do ASMR, so you can submit ASMR videos to me 1 minute in length. My email is in the description. 1 minute videos. You just send that to my email, and then you'll be part of the subs do ASMR video. When I reach 10,000 subs, I'll upload it, which shouldn't be too long from now, to be honest. Give it a week or two, I should be there. So I'd really love to see. I think I got 2 submissions so far. Shout out to the people that have submitted. I got 2. So yeah, looking for the 3rd. Once I get around 10 subs, I'll put together the video, and yeah. So get yours in before I reach 10,000 subs, and you should be part of the video. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I would prefer some visuals. Shout out to the person. If she's watching this, she shared a video. The screen was just black. The screen was just black. I'll make it work, but whoever submits, if you don't want to show your face, that's fine. Just provide some visuals of some sort, just so you know. There's it is a video after all, so yeah. Shout out to homegirl though. She shared a black screen. I respect it. But yeah, the rest of y'all don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. Or else I won't use the video. I'll use hers because, you know, but the rest of you I won't use yours if you share like a black screen. And then I wrote a poetry book. The link is in the description. It's $1. It's a series of love poems, and I'm proud of it. And I'd really like if y'all read it, support me, you know, buy it. You can download the Kindle app to read it. You have to purchase it on the Amazon website, because for whatever reason they don't let you buy books on the Kindle app anymore, which is puzzling. But yeah, you have to go on the website and buy it there, and then it'll show up on your app. So yeah, link in the description if you want to check it out, see what it's about. You can also download a song. So if you just want a sample first, if you want to see what's going on, Amazon lets you read samples. It lets you take a peek inside. You can even read samples on the website. You don't have to get the app if you don't want to commit to the app yet. You can read a sample on the website and see if you're willing to spare $1 to read the book, the whole thing. And then yeah, really appreciate it if you leave 5 stars as well. Would really appreciate if you leave 5 stars. It means a lot, guys. It goes a long way. Thank you. Last night I was watching this Western Cape tour. This guy was showing different neighborhoods in Western Cape. Oh my god, guys, the Western Cape is gorgeous. Western Cape of South Africa. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's beautiful. I need to see what the hell is going on down there. I haven't actually been in 2021 for like 2 months. I was in Paarl, this small town. Paarl is very beautiful. I used to go on a lot of walks there. This big nature reserve, I'd go on a lot of walks. I think I ended up exploring the whole thing, damn near the whole thing. like the nature reserve. But yeah, the video was like, it was so good. Just in different neighborhoods, different houses, expensive houses. But just the scenery was just gorgeous. The restaurants, the mountains, the wine farms, the this, the that. South Africa is such a beautiful country. So beautiful. Just visually, just oh my god. The woman too. Getting emotional just thinking about it. But yeah, so much potential. Just we're held back by this garbage government. Garbage government. So bad at the job. So bad. It's unbelievable. But when you see things like that, you're like, there's hope. If you can just get our act together, this country could really be at the next level. There are a lot of emerging economies around the world, like countries that were previously not looked at to be anything worth anyone's consideration or time are now like major players, Singapore being one of them. China just a few decades ago was broke. People don't realize that China was not this big threat, like whatever the case may be, this big economic power just a few decades ago. They were very poor and they'd been ravaged by communism, and people thought, okay, China's out of the way now. But then they made some economic reforms, and now top 3 economic powers. One could argue, in some metrics, the number 1. They have some challenges, a very serious birth crisis because of their demonic one-child policy, where they were killing babies. So if you weren't a boy, they would kill you. So if people got pregnant with girls, they would kill the girls, or they'd force you to get an abortion, which is the same thing as killing a baby. And they'd mandate one child only. You're only allowed to have one child. So now all that is catching up. They've got a society that is imbalanced in terms of demographics. I think they have more males than females. Let me Google that actually, just to... Oh man, this laptop, bro. I said, let me Google it, and then the screen turned black, as if it heard me. It heard me say, I want to Google, and then the screen turned black. It's like, no, please leave me alone. Anyway, it's cooperating now. Well, sort of cooperating. There's so many things I'd like to do with my money, but I really think I need to get a new laptop. It's so expensive to get a new laptop. Let me Google China has more men than women. In 2023, there are around 720 million male inhabitants and 689 million female inhabitants living in China, amounting to around 1.41 billion people in total. That's a lot of people. Chinese women are baddies too. I've seen a lot of hot Chinese women, but yeah, anyway. Look at that. So 720 million males, 689 million females. Because they're killing all the women. if you got pregnant with a girl, they'll be like, no, it doesn't count. They get rid of that. Or if you went above the one-child policy, so even if you had a boy, I think if you had more than one child, they'd force you to get rid of that. It's diabolical. Anyway, I got sidetracked. China is an emerging economy. They just need to figure out that situation. They're experiencing population decline. People will think, oh, but what's the problem? They have 1.41 billion people. There's so many things to consider when it comes to this. Anyway, I've spoken about this so many times. I won't go into it now. Yeah, China, Singapore, Russia is doing very well. economically. I've been watching some YouTube videos because, I do think sometimes a lot of us fall victim to Western propaganda. I don't think Russia is nearly as bad as people make it sound. Because I was watching this lady, she does these vlogs in Russia. She lives in Russia now with her Mexican husband, her Mexican husband, and she's just talking about how people's perception of Russia is all wrong. And it's actually very nice to live in. It's very beautiful. They've got efficient train systems, like public transport. The groceries are cheap. There's so many beautiful sights to see. This, that, and the third. And I was watching the videos, and I'm like, this does look nice. And the people seem nice too. It seems like a very interesting place. I wouldn't mind visiting. I wouldn't mind taking a peek at what's going on in Russia. I think that we fall victim to a lot of propaganda. And you have to sometimes look for yourself. Like get it from the horse's mouth. What's going on, horse? Mr. Horse, can you tell me what's going on? That's how horses talk. And it'll tell you, no, we're actually pretty nice down here. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I saying? Who knows? Don't pay too much attention to me. Russia is emerging. It's doing very well. Like they've imposed all these economic sanctions on it since the Ukraine thing happened, but it's not working. In fact, it's helped them in many ways because it's forced them to tap into certain resources. Because once hold on. So, bro, I had to wait like 20 minutes because people were yapping outside my room. I was like, just waiting for them to stop talking anyway. So, when Russia is sanctioned and they're like, oh, you can't use our gas anymore, well, I don't know, all these resources, Russia's like, okay, we'll use our own. And they actually created a booming industry out of that, and they're richer than ever. You got a few countries here in Africa that are starting to do well. My God, Tanzania's showing potential. Zanzibar is amazing. Zanzibar is you should check that out. It's part of Tanzania. Tanzania. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Tanzania or Tanzania. Rwanda is doing well. Namibia. They just need to keep doing what they're doing. Keep growing. Focus on business more. Expand those markets. It's like this. Empires rise and fall. So Singapore gained independence in 1965 and was before then was a low income nation. Like it was one of these poor Asian countries that people just disregard and you don't care about. I personally don't like that perspective that, wealthy nations will look down on other nations and all this sort of stuff. I think that arrogance is dangerous, and you need to understand the rise and fall of nations and all that sort of stuff and why that tends to happen. You start to get cocky and the rug can be pulled from beneath you. It's very important to maintain a humble spirit in all of this and understand that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So nothing is promised and nothing lasts forever. So always remain humble. With Singapore, what was particularly unbelievable was the rapid rate of growth. So you can imagine from 1965, when they gained independence, they started implementing a whole bunch of policies that attracted investment and freed up the economy and allowed people to conduct business. They love bragging about how here in Singapore you can start a business in 1 to 3 days. They make it very easy to start and run businesses in that country, so it attracts people to do business there and trade, and obviously that boosts the economy, and they became one of the wealthiest nations in the world. From one of the poorest nations, one of the poorest, to one of the wealthiest in a matter of decades. You could have been living. There are people who got to see two extremes. They got to see Singapore as a very poor nation, and then all of a sudden it becomes this wealthy place that's very advanced and attracting all this sort of business, and everything just changes in front of your eyes. And you can imagine if you were born in 1940 something, how old would you be now? You'd be like in your 80s, maybe around that age. You've gotten to see two extremes, dude. Two Singapores. It's unbelievable how quickly things can change, how rapidly a nation can go from like 0 to 100. I'm reading. There's a document I downloaded. I might look at it. It's like 76 pages, so I don't know if I'll read the whole thing. But there's a passage here that says, Section 3 discusses the policies adopted by Singapore to foster rapid development of the economy. In large part, Singapore's rapid growth can be attributed to macroeconomic stability, an open trading system, and flexible labor markets. These factors ensure that foreign firms were eager to locate in Singapore, setting the stage for investment and export-led growth. In addition, however, Singapore has relied on market-leading policies for active promotion of investments in those sectors thought to possess the greatest growth potential. So you can imagine what would attract businesses to your country. Low tax, you can hire and fire as you please, you can set your own wages, stuff like that. These are capitalist principles, where the government isn't imposing itself on the private sector, telling businesses what they can and can't do. That's why socialism doesn't work. And you can see how quickly Singapore grew. And this is in line with what we saw in the global trend, how when after the Industrial Revolution, the free market really exploded. And what did we see? We saw the global extreme poverty rate fall from 95%, more than 95%, to less than 5% in a few decades in the 19th century. Unbelievable. A lot of power went into the individual's hands, because back then it was more so the nobility and the royal class, which was like a very, very small percentage of people, and everyone else was poor. You just worked for the nobility and the ruling class. They just owned everything. They owned your food, they owned the land, they owned everything. The livestock, it was theirs, and you just got what they gave you. Socialism is essentially the same thing, where it's like the government owns all the wealth and they quote unquote redistribute it, but they never actually do that, do they? They're not very efficient at that. The money that is given to them to redistribute is never used for what it's meant to be used for. It's always misused and it always vanishes. So I think about a lot of African countries. The Burkina Faso is another country that's doing well. They recently elected a very young president. They're getting rid of all these old farts that have been destroying that country. And this new guy is showing a lot of promises. He bought a bunch of trucks. He's like, we need to start cultivating our own land and farming and producing our own crops and so on and so forth. It doesn't make sense that we import all these goods when we have fertile land. So let's put ourselves to work. He's going to employ people, and they're going to mine and produce. They're going to mine a lot of their own natural resources, and they're going to produce all of their own crops and make money using their own land. And it's very promising. Instead of having, because they were being milked by all these European countries, and now they're taking power into their own hands. It's very promising, right? So we'll see. I'm praying for countries like that. I want to see how far they can take it. But it's embracing business and abandoning this welfare statism where you're constantly begging for money. Please give me coins. Please give me money. But instead, putting power into your own hands and refusing handouts. That's the pathway to success. So with South Africa, where more than half the country is on welfare, which is unbelievable, and they're just, they're making plans for even more welfare, talking about universal basic income and stuff like that. South Africa is like 5 trillion rands in debt, which is unbelievable. How much debt is South Africa in? So in dollars, it's about 282.2 billion dollars of debt, which is, yeah. And I read somewhere that about a fifth of every rand that goes to the government, so I guess our tax money, is spent on paying off that debt. So it's so inefficient. Like, this is money that can be used to improve the country, but instead we're paying off debt. It's bad. It's bad, and they want to just increase that, because now they're talking about, so they recently this national healthcare insurance bill, which is subsidizing healthcare for everyone, including in the private sector. And it can sound nice at first, but when you start to really look into the details, you're like, this is terrible. Because number one, the healthcare system is already overburdened, and when you start making everything free, it's just people are just gonna flood these healthcare centers, and obviously that's gonna present its own issues, and less people get treated as a result. But even for private healthcare professionals who make money, who want to make money off of what they're doing, even they're being subsidized by this. So it's like they're gonna make less money off of their practice for certain treatments. So that now they're thinking, let me go overseas where I can get paid more, because this is not for me. And the government's saying, no, please don't leave. Like what the hell? Like, this is such a bad idea. It's not gonna work. And there've been many critics coming out and saying the exact same thing, looking at, even some who are socialists are saying, this is not going to work, our system can't handle this. So the government just needs to keep its nose out of people's business. You know what I would do if I was given authority to, like, run a district or something? So let's say you take me to one of these poor townships. Instead of investing money in welfare and all these things, what I would do is invest in cleaning up the place. So I'd pay locals. I'd pay them well too. I think it's very important to provide incentive. So you pay locals. You create this job position, this job listing. You say, we need people who are going to clean the streets and keep the streets clean. This is how much we're paying you. And it's a good amount of money, so people will be like, oh, that's more than what I'm getting working at this supermarket or whatever the case. Let me go do that job. And then you get those people, and then they clean up the place, like clean it up and keep it clean. You hire people, locals, to provide security, so you want to keep the place safe. So the issue with a lot of these townships is crime. So keep the criminals at bay. You pay them well. So it's like local police, basically. Pay them well to keep criminals out, and we punish criminals severely when they get caught. And then I would declare it a tax-free zone, so wait, if it's clean, it's safe, and it's a tax-free zone, or very low tax, so I'll make it like less than 10%. What that does is businesses will be like, okay, it's clean, it's safe, and we're not going to pay much tax here. Businesses will flood in. Businesses will flood in. You just minimal regulation, as little regulation as possible. A lot of businesses are going to move in, and what that's going to do is it's going to create a lot of jobs. So a lot of these people who have nothing to do with their time, they don't know what the hell, and that's why a lot of them become criminals. All of a sudden now all these businesses are coming in. You're going to start working for this person, working for that person. It's going to create jobs, and that's just going to spread even more wealth and more opportunities, and eventually that place will be unrecognizable in a few years. But it sounds, some people might say that's too simple, it's more complicated than that. It really isn't. What ends up happening is bureaucracy gets in the way. These are very simple things. Something like cleaning up the streets can be done like that. Cleaning, providing adequate security. Just doing those two things can actually improve communities' conditions significantly. You can attract good business if it's clean and it's safe. Just that alone, cleanliness and safety. But then you take it a step further and you deregulate the area. Minimum tax. You can hire and fire as you please. You can set your own wages, stuff like that. Government's not going to impose minimum wages on you. Oof. Bro, you'll see drastic change. I'm telling you. Drastic change. You know, I'm not a big fan of welfare, but I mean, in the short term it can work. So maybe you can inject money into the community to build community centers so that the kids have places to go, so that they don't fall into gang activity and stuff like that. And you can bring people in to provide courses of all sorts, teaching a lot of these kids how to use computers and all that sort of stuff. You can build schools, like put the government's money to use. Like, these are doable things, like very doable things that can be done very quickly, but bureaucracy gets in the way. So then the goal would be to shrink government. Then if bureaucracy is the issue, you need to shrink the government, because all these useless people who are sucking up public funds end up imposing all these rules that just complicate the whole system and make it harder to flourish. It's very difficult to start businesses. We need to make it easier, not harder, to do business in South Africa. Like with Singapore, like, what did it say here? It said it was attracting investment. Man, why did this thing close? Oh, it's over here. Singapore's rapid growth can be attributed to macroeconomic stability, an open trading system, and flexible labor markets. These factors ensure that foreign firms are eager to locate in Singapore, setting the stage for investment and export-led growth. In addition, however, Singapore has relied on market-leading policies for active promotion of investments in those sectors thought to possess the greatest growth potential. So yeah, just the long and short of it, they promoted policies that were very attractive to foreign investors. And people were like, we want to do business in Singapore. And that grew the economy exponentially, and it led to all sorts of other opportunities. I think you have to put power in people's hands. When you treat them like babies, and you're like, we'll give you money, don't worry. And you treat them like they're useless and they just need you and they can't survive without you. That's not empowering. Instead, you need to be like, nah, we're going to set the stage for you to perform. We're going to make sure that these conditions are conducive for success, and then whether you succeed or not is up to you, but we're not going to be here to save you all the time. We're not going to be here to give you handouts. We're just going to provide the ground for you to work. I think that's actually empowering. Not this nonsense of giving people money all the time and then they just stay at home, and that's how you end up with very, very terrible conditions when you infantilize your population. So, we'll see where the country goes. There's so much potential. When I saw that video of the Western Cape, I was so inspired. I was like, this is beautiful. But yeah, man. Even Johannesburg has got a lot of beauty. The whole country is full of potential. But our government, man. Now they're talking about the EFF making a coalition with the ANC. or rather the ANC making a coalition with the EFF. I'm concerned because the EFF is just, yeah, these are staunch socialists, and I've heard some of their policies, and a lot of people are questioning how this will pan out, because the EFF was proposing some welfare check, an increase in the welfare check that people already get. So I think people get a few hundred rands now. Now I think they propose like 3,000 rand. EFF welfare proposal. Let me Google that. So, a significant increase in social grants. R3,000. Whoa. Whoa. 3,000 rand. If you have a degree and no job, which is an important asterisk to add. So it's not like everyone's getting that, it seems. So critics, it says here, critics warn of the potential strain on the country's fiscals, already stretched thin by existing social welfare programs, and the risk of exacerbating inflationary pressures. I talked about this yesterday, I think, I don't know. When you print more money, you have a bigger supply of money, you reduce the quality, the value of your money. It's the principle of scarcity. The more readily available something is, the less valuable it is. So when you increase the amount of money in circulation, but the amount of commodities has remained the same, you increase demand, prices rise, inflation. Think about it. There was a set group of people that had money. The government printed money and started handing out the money. Now there's more people that have money. It's new money. So now there's more people with money that are going for the same products, but the amount of products hasn't increased. The amount of products has stayed the same. So now it means the demand has gone up. So for businesses, like, all these people are rushing in and they want this, they want that, what we have to do is we have to raise prices so that, whoever can afford it, that's who it goes to. That's how it works. High demand, high price. So that's how inflation, simply speaking, works. So when people like the EFF are talking about 3,000 rand if you have a degree and no job, because youth unemployment right now is like 45% in this country, which is ridiculous. There are a lot of people who are unemployed in this country. Unemployment in general in this country is a serious problem. A lot of people with degrees, they go to university, they graduate, and then they're like, fuck, I don't know where to work now. No one wants me. It's a problem. But this is not the answer. The social grants. No, the answer is actually deregulating the market so you can make it easier for people to start businesses. And then that's how you have jobs opening up in the job market. There are a lot of people who have all these great ideas and they have the capital to start businesses, but the system is so corrupt. Sometimes you can't even start your business without paying a bribe to someone. That's how corrupt it is. The system is corrupt. You might not get it, but you have to live here to understand how corrupt the South African political system is. So many barriers to success for young business people. So many hoops you have to, it's so intimidating as well. I always think Singapore's praises because they get it. In Singapore, you can start a business in 1 to 3 days. That's the thing they brag about. We make it easy for people to make money. We make it easy for people to advance their lives, their careers. We don't get in the way. And it attracts foreign investment. It attracts people from overseas to be like, oh, let's go to business in Singapore because they're not going to give us stress. And when foreign businesses come in and establish offices there and whatnot, guess who benefits? The locals. They hire the locals. Everyone benefits. But like political parties like the EFF, they're the type to regulate everything, and we need to do this with people. You're not paying your workers enough. You need to stop doing that. It scares away businesses, because businesses, we don't do business here. These people are gonna fucking be in our shit all the time. They're gonna have their nose in our business all the time. So when I'm hearing talk of the ANC joining ranks with the EFF, I'm worried. These are openly socialist people. So I'm just worried about their policies. And when he's saying things like 3,000 Rand social grants to solve the youth unemployment, it's not going to solve anything. Like I already said, we're like 5 trillion Rand in debt already. Where's the money coming from? We don't have the money. They're going to print money. Oh my God. Okay. Positivity. I'm sounding very negative right now. So I do have concerns. That being said, this country has a lot of potential. So we'll see. I might be wrong. Okay, let me say this. I might be wrong about the EFF. But I'm just looking at the evidence, what they've said with their own mouths. It's not looking good, but I'm hoping they prove me wrong. Let me put it that way. I don't want them to fail. I want them to do well, because I benefit. I live in South Africa. My family benefits. My friends benefit. The people I care about benefit if South Africa does well. The whole country will flourish and will attract investment and tourism and all that sort of stuff. We already do, but it'll be even more. So I'm praying that this works out. But I'm just like looking at the EFF and like, these guys, I don't know if they have what it takes to improve the nation. But yeah, I hope they prove me wrong. I really do. Prove me wrong, EFF. ANC, prove me wrong. Please. I'm begging you. Unfortunately, these are not things you can see right away. It's going to take time. The elections, they're still counting votes and stuff. We'll see how it ends up turning out. But it'll take like a couple years to really see what the implications of this new power structure are. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway. Let me know what you think. If there are any South Africans in the comments, let me know. If there are any people from the Western Cape. I know that most of my South African audience is from Cape Town. So shout out to you. Cape Town is actually the second biggest city demographic in my viewership. I was looking at my biggest cities. I think number 1 is New York. Number 2 is Cape Town. Number 3 is like Los Angeles. California. Or as they say, California. Amen. Not me who said it. If there's anyone from Cape Town, let me know. Western Cape, in general, let me know. Yeah, just let me know what you think. Yeah, please, if there are any South Africans, give me your opinion on where things are going and if you have hope. And it is very important to have hope. So I do hope you have hope. But like, let me know if you're more optimistic about like an EFF ANC coalition, or you're like questioning it like me, and if you think the country's headed in the right direction with regards to some of these policy propositions, and yeah, whatever other opinions you have on what I've said. Anyway, to pray at the end of all my videos just to impart peace and blessing, all that good stuff. Before I get out, remember, subs to ASMR, and so you can submit that to my email. My email's in my description. 1 minute. And then my poetry book is $1. The link is in the description. It's $1. The link is in the description. It's $1. Thank you. Let me pray. I almost ended the video. Dear Father God, thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole and unique and guiding them on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them, and thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love, with marriage, and for sustaining that love and marriage and making them very happy. Bless this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life, and by giving thanks they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that you're God, that you're real, that you love them, you're always going to be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person and everyone they care about. In your mighty name we pray, in Jesus' name we pray, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen, 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 amen.